Well, I want to say good day to all my friends, my family, my loved ones, my associates and contacts, both near and far. I truly hope that all is well in your part of the world today. This is Raymond Settles, and I'm coming once again with your motivational moment. And with today's motivational moment, I want us to take a look at something that not enough of us really choose to look at in detail. And that is the role of failure in our lives. It was the Irish novelist, playwright, short story writer, theater director, poet, literary translator Samuel Beckett who said, "Ever tried, ever failed. No matter. Try again. Fail better." Now, the works of Samuel Beckett offered bleak, tragic comedy views of human existence, often coupled it with dark comedy. And he was so proficient, in 1969, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. Even before that, though, after the Nazi German occupation of France in 1940, Beckett joined the French Resistance. He worked with them as a courier. On several occasions over the next couple of years, he was nearly caught multiple times by the Gestapo. In 1942, his unit was betrayed and he had to flee on foot for safety in a small village. And he kept assisting the resistance by keeping weapons in his backyard. And it was during that 2-year period that he actually indirectly helped the French sabotage the German army in the nearby mountains. He didn't speak much of that, though. He just called that Boy Scout stuff for the rest of his life. What he's telling us here is that failure is as much a part of life as is success. We just don't allow failure to stop us. Failure is simply just to be another step in our development. Failing in something is basically just a sign for us to let us know of another way that does not work. Every time it's said that Thomas Edison failed with one of his inventions or innovations, he just said, well, now we know there's one more way that this won't work. And that's okay. We have to have the proper perspective on how failure impacts our lives. Writer, leader, expert on organizations, John Maxwell, among others, he encourages us that failure is to be handled as a new opportunity. It's a new opportunity to grow from, a new opportunity to learn from the mistakes of our past, a new opportunity to see how we can do what we do even better. Failure gives us a bit of a bitter experience, there's no doubt about that. I don't think any of us like to rehash moments of failure. However, those moments of failure should serve as motivation to let us know, let's not go through that again, so let's change up how we did it. Let's not have that same feeling again, so let's put a little more effort into it. Let's be a little more diligent in our preparation. Let's take all the steps we need to make sure that this is not the end result for the next time. Failure has its part, and we have to know its proper role. If you want a great example of it, allow me to take you back to the 2nd chapter of the book of Acts. We see that at that point, Jesus has gone back to heaven. His followers, without Jesus, are left there to start what will soon become known as the church. They were living under the threat of arrest and possible death. Needless to say, Jesus' disciples were living low-key lives. Chief among them is Simon Peter. That same Peter who was impatient, who was imperfect, who was impetuous. That same Peter that called Jesus the Son of God before the others. That same Peter who was there for many of Jesus' biggest ministry works and many of his miracles. The fact that Peter was there at all was a minor miracle in itself. You see, Peter also failed Jesus in a major way. Right before Jesus was to be crucified, Peter denied even knowing Jesus 3 times. He even cussed people out in the process. Peter failed Jesus. But let me tell you, even though Peter failed Jesus, Jesus gave Peter another chance. After Jesus was born again, after he was resurrected, after he came back to life from the dead, he checked Peter 3 times to make sure he loved him. And then he told Peter, you're going to get another chance at this. So this same Peter in Acts was not the same Peter that failed Jesus. He learned from his failure. Peter had a new chance to serve Jesus, and he knew he was going to get it right this time. He had learned his lesson. He preached on the day of Pentecost. Over 3,000 souls got saved. Peter got past his failing and became as successful as you could expect him to be. In fact, it says by the end of Acts chapter 3, it said the church had over 5,000 souls that had been added to them. Failing, my brothers and sisters, is simply a part of life. Sometimes failing is more normal than succeeding. The great thing to know about it is that failing is not the end. To fail once, fail twice, even fail multiple times, depending upon what area you may fall in, is part of the course of life. That can apply to business, to sports, to education, to your career, to what you intend to do with your life. Failure is going to happen. Let me say this, don't fail the same way. Don't let failure become your standard. As much as you can, make failure to become a springboard that launches you into a higher orbit, one of success. Your failure, it doesn't have to be final. Your loss doesn't have to be the last word of your plans or of your life. Your defeat does not have to define you. It is not your final destiny or destination. No, what you have to do, brothers and sisters, you got to get up. You got to try again. You got to do it all over again. But learn from your previous failures. Do it a different way. This time, do it over. This time, do it better. This time, do it until it's done right. Do it until it's done correctly. Do it till it's done properly. Do it until it's done successfully. Your life hasn't been written in pen. It's been written with a pencil. That means you can go back and erase what was done wrong. You can erase where you messed up. You can erase where you fall short. Your life, it can be changed. Your life, it can be adjusted. It can be made different and better than what your people, what your family, even yourself, what you think about your life, about where it's going, about what is its total sum measure of it. Your life can turn around simply in the matter of your very next decision. You might have failed. Yeah, you might have. I failed. It's okay. Let me encourage you. Success is right around the corner. Success is bound with the next thought that you have. Success is bound and tied up into the very next action you take. Because success is there for you to have. It's there for the taking. All you've got to do is learn from your mistakes. Learn from your past. Learn from your failures. Failure does have a role in your life, but it doesn't have to define your life. Beckett said, ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better. Make sure, if you have to fail again, You don't fail for the same reason you failed previously. You tried something different. You didn't keep going down that same path. You didn't commit to the same old, same old. There's a big world out there. A lot of success is available to you. It may not be easy, but let me tell you, you're well able. You're built for this. You can do this. Again, this is Raymond Settles. This has been your motivational moment. I need you to go out there and seize the day. It is right within your grasp. You can make it happen.